Hello, friends from the comic world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we are here to talk to you about the new collected editions that are coming out in March 2025. G and I work for Penguin Random House, and the titles that we talk about in these videos are from the publishers that we represent and to the direct market around the world. Also, note that we're on social media. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook, and of course YouTube. You can find us at PRH International Comics, and but we'll leave links in the description below. And also, just to let you know, if it's your first time watching one of these videos, the way we do this, G and I pick a few titles to talk about first that are coming out in the month of March, and then we'll continue with highlighting some other titles we want to make sure you do not miss. And then after that, we'll show you the rest of the list of titles that are coming out during the month of March 2025. So without further ado, let's get started. And I think, is it me first? I forgot.
It's
It's
actually me.
you. Yeah. Go ahead.
So this one is A Song for You and I. This is by Kay O'Neill, and if you recognize the name, it's the same creator who did Moth Keeper and Tea Dragon Society, both of which I very much enjoyed. So this one is coming out both in hardcover and in trade paperback, and it's about Rowan who basically wants to be a ranger and protect their village. And they have this flying horse, which you can see in the distance on the cover, named Kess. So Rowan is basically very eager to show off their worth. And in that process, unfortunately, Kess, their horse, gets injured. And Rowan that incident has led Rowan to be suddenly unsure if they're capable of becoming a protector that they've always dreamed of becoming. Like, how can I protect a village when I can't even protect my own, like, loyal flying horse? So, with Cass needing to heal from the injury, and Rowan is assigned to this slow but winding expedition across the outlying lands, and they get paired with this sheep herder named Leon. And Rowan only finds frustration in this journey that they go through, as they seem to fail at every simple tasks that they encounter. So it's only like fueling sort of the insecurity that Rowan has about their dream of becoming a ranger. But could this unlikely friendship between the two become something more? And if it is, will Rowan be able to leave Leon and leave behind this pursuit of becoming a ranger once Cass, their horse, is healed? It's a question that they have to struggle with as you go through reading this book. And this is like an immediate pickup for me because I'm such a fan of Kay O'Neill. So, yeah, just really wanted to spotlight this here today.
Very cool. And we continue with the Witcher Classic Collection. And this is a paperback collection collecting the original, the uh, six original series released in 1993, 1995 in Poland. Um, it says now available in English. I think it's the first time. Uh, I don't know if it's the first time ever translated, but I think it's the first time they're collected this way, for sure. And they stories are taken from the original short stories by Anders Stapo, Stapkowski, which I always have such a hard time saying. Obviously, the creator of The Witcher, and it is that were adapted to comic book form by Marcież Parowski, both of them obviously from Poland, and the the stories that it includes in here are A Road to No Return, The Betrayal, Geralt, The Lesser Evil, The Last Wish, and The Bounds of Reason. So this is definitely a must for fans of The Witcher, fans of Geralt, and I it's really cool that is not just the original comics that came out, but also it's based directly on the original material short stories from the creator, And The Witcher is, I mean, everybody knows is huge. So also, I think is a extremely great starting point if you're not into The Witcher yet, for you to pick this up and get started on it. So there you go. For any fans of fantasy and action and all that, this is a must. Obviously, The Witcher is a must.
Mhm. All right, next up is Superman Space Age. Now, this already came out in hardcover, but I did want to point out that in March we're getting the trade paperback release here, and this one is with the Superstar team of Mark Russell and Mike Allred on art. And when I first read this, I was incredibly blown away, like many people were. So, a little bit about this in case you haven't heard, although that seems unlikely because this kind of went like it gained so much attention when this came out. So, we
Yeah.
have Clark Kent, where not spoilers, this is the premise where the world is soon coming to an end and he's resolved that there's nothing that he can do to save it. And then what the story does is it jumps back to how it got to that point,
Mm-hmm.
and basically you journey through US history, and as you like go through that with Clark, and as each decade passes, you see new dangers emerge, and you see him trying to figure out, is this the event that will end it all? No, is this the event that will end it all?
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see how it's like a very internalized, like you see a lot of his internal dialogue as you're reading through this, and unfortunately, good intentions aren't without backlash, and the world around him, you can see how, as you're going through history, how it transforms this place that he's been living on, and how, unfortunately, humans who are trying to survive are as equally, in some way or another, determined to destroy it, unintentionally or intentionally, both at odds. And it's a question of, well, is he able to save it? Can he not? And you get to see that unfold as you're reading through this. Um, very, very. Uh, I'm trying to think of the right word, but like it's a very impactful story as you're reading through this. I did want to mention this because if you were a fan of this story, we do have the return of Mark Russell and Mike Allred on Batman Dark Age. So this is the hardcover that's coming out. And this one, we have the year 2030. We have elderly Bruce Wayne, who is struggling against a debilitating effects of aging. He's no longer the young hero he once was, and he turns his memories onto the past that he can hold on to, and that past dates back to 1957, and it dates back to that fateful night when he saw his parents murdered in cold blood. So, and that sort of like progressed for him to become the Cape Crusader, but that journey wasn't easy, especially when he was this angry teenage boy, who had so much questions. So you go through like the tumultuous age of the 60s and onwards. And so again, it's like going back into history here. So, um, and you're going back through historical events. So if you're a fan of the previous Superman Space Age, this is something that I'm particularly interested in because I very much enjoyed that. So for fans, this is for you.
Yeah. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we continue with Tongues, Volume 1 by Anders Nielsen. This is coming from Pantheon. And, like all the books from Pantheon, this is a very beautiful illustrated uh, edition. And if you don't know, Anders Nielsen is one of those authors. He has written a lot of graphic novel comic books that have won a lot of awards and a lot of praise around the world. And this new one, he adapts the story of Prometheus, the Greek myth of Prometheus, and it's sort of a retelling in a modern version of Central Asia. a version that is different, obviously, but it's a modern Central Asia, and it follows, sort of the Coptic god's friendship with the eagle who carries out his daily sentence of torture and chronicles his pursuit of revenge on the god that has imprisoned him. But it also follows the story, it's intertwined with the story of an East African orphan who is on an errand of murder, and also a young man with a teddy bear strapped on his back, wandering aimlessly into catastrophe. And so there's also this character that was on Anders Nielsen's previous book, Dogs and Water. So it connects with that previous book a little bit. So and as you can see by the cover, it's going to be very beautiful and haunting. And if you could go to the next slide, I wanted to show you some of the interiors. It will feature certain things very different, like this triangle shaped page, which I can't wait to see in person. And also on the next one, you kind of see this other page kind of has a piece of it that kind of flips open to widen the shot. And there's many other illustrations where it shows that the panels are not the traditional panels, and the art, obviously, in the book, there's a lot of very interesting things that Anders Nielsen did with the book, which he has done in his other books too. So I'm really excited for this. This is one of those books that that one of those authors that it's he always has a message, but also has a very beautiful view, and but also at the same time it's very, like I said, haunting and a little bit horrifying of the world, and in this case of the future. So yeah, this is coming, like I said, in March, and it's yeah, that's it. Don't know what else to say.
All right, next up we have Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime Gallery Edition. This is the Alex Ross cover that you're seeing here in
Hmm.
hardcover. This one collects the Jason Aaron Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime issue one back in 2024, which like gained so much attention because it's like Disney Comics and Marvel bringing in Scrooge McDuck back into the fold. So when a little bit about this, when Uncle Scrooge and his fabled, very iconic money bin gets stolen by a shocking culprit, the world's toughest duck must take on this quest, unlike any other, to find it again, alongside this array of allies, including other versions of himself. I did also want to show the direct market cover, and this is by J. Scott Campbell, which is a really cool cover. Like I see Mona Lisa duck version.
Yeah,
I think that's Helen of Troy statue in the back from my memories.
yeah.
But I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it
I
is though.
I don't remember,
Um,
but yeah, it could be.
yeah,
Yeah,
so this includes bonus materials, of course, as well. So this gallery edition has 96 pages. It has the 30-page comic story that I just talked about by Jason Aaron, but then it also has like behind the scenes bonus material. So it has the introduction by Jason Aaron. We have an interview by him. We have an interview by various authors who are on this. Interviews by Alex Ross, for one, and short interviews with like some of the variant cover artists as well too. Also includes all of the gallery of the variant covers as well, because there's like a whole bunch
yeah,
of them that was really beautiful when this came out. And the behind the scenes material that I mentioned would include like sketches of the creation of Dark Scrooge, the initial layouts to the comic pages. It'll highlight any like changes that were made during the various stages of development and so forth. So, yeah, I think yeah. So I'm very much excited. Grew up watching the cartoon, and yeah, I will definitely be getting this. So, yes.
yes. And I'm glad that you picked that book and put it before this one because you just said a lot of things that I was going to say about the gallery editions. Because my next pick is Marvel Gambit Victims Gallery Edition. And this is a book written by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This is collecting the run of that mini series issues 1 through 4, but also materials from Uncanny X-Men Annual 1979, number 18. So this is a very classic uh, Wolverine Gambit story, and this is a pair that for comic book readers and fans on X-Men, we always get excited see them both together because as much as Wolverine argues with the Deadpool and doesn't get along with some of the other ones, I feel like the relationship with Gambit is the most tragic and more they're always um they truly have a extreme love-hate relationship. Uh, and it doesn't involve necessarily a love triangle like with Cyclops. So, and I love both characters, and I gotta say, Gambit is my favorite X-Men. So I always love anything that has X-Men in it. And this story, if you don't remember, takes place in London actually, and Gambit is actually hunting Wolverine, but it's also in the background. Um, there's a series of murders that are reminiscent of Jack the Ripper. So they're like kind of thinking that somebody is a copycat or yeah, basically that terror is coming back to London. So that's around there the whole sort of the story. It does bring because it's a story from the 70s. It is the the Gambit and the Wolverine from that era, and especially Gambit was, it features a lot about him just being transformed, or just reforming as a thief and as sort of a scoundrel, charming but a scoundrel. So it talks a lot about that part of his background, which sometimes it gets lost in some of the newer stories that feature Gambit. And this cover, which is the regular trade cover by Tim Sale, obviously very beautiful. And then on the next slide, we have a direct market cover, which is also art by Tim Sale, also very beautiful. I love this one with the three claws on there, but also the shadow of Wolverine over Gambit, but Gambit getting ready with his cards ready to shoot them. And like G said, this is a gallery edition, so the description that I found online was like it's a series of oversized premium collections from Marvel Comics that often highlight the work of specific artists' notable runs, and you can experience stunning artwork in details, and they are printed in oversized, high quality paper and vibrant colors. I didn't do as much research as G did, so I don't know. I don't have exactly what are the extras, but trust me, there's a lot of extras. And I think we talked about these gallery editions before in the channel. In this channel, I remember Nick's gallery edition that came out last year. We talked about that, so I'm sure a lot of you knows what these are. But I'm really excited, especially because it's such a story that I love so much. That's it. And now we're going to go to highlight some other titles from March.
Yes, we have an Absolute Promethea Book 1. This is a 2025 edition by Alan Moore. You know that's going to be stunningly beautiful when that comes out.
Hmm?
We have Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1, James Tynion the Fourth. This is a 2025 edition. And we have the Batman Off World by Jason Aaron, but also the direct market exclusive cover. And these are really nice Marvel Premiere collections. You probably may have already seen this on the news all over the place, but this one coming out in March would be the Captain America Winter Soldier like like volume for
It
the
has the
Premiere collection.
full arc of Winter Soldier in it.
Yes.
And then we continue with David Mazzucchelli's Daredevil Born Again Artist Edition, obviously by Frank Miller, with illustrations by David Mazzucchelli. And we had so many, what was I going to say? David Mazzucchelli's Year One, Batman Year One last year did so well. I'm sure this one is also going to be highly sought after. And then we continue with some more of the DC Finest, this collection of uh, big trades that DC is putting out with several stories, and it has DC. It has Plastic Man, the original Plastic Man by Jack Cole, and then we have Suicide Squad: Trial by Fire by various artists, and then we have Team Ups, Chase of the End Time, also various artists, and then we continue with the Deadman Omnibus. This is a 2025 edition, and it's by Andy Hafer.
All right, continuing on, we have the Doom Treasury Edition by Jonathan Hickman, the Scott Snyder's Duck and Cover title, and Freaking Romance Volume 3 by Snail Lords. Love the name.
Yeah.
Grendel, Devil's Crucible, Defiance, Matt Wagner, and Harley Quinn's Bud and Lou, Trouble Times 2, Ben Heed. Okay.
Yep. And we continue with Kiloway, Little Thunder, which I've talked about a couple of times already in previous videos. The amazing Hong Kong artist, now finally in English with her new graphic novel. And then Lester of a Lesser God, by Eric Powell and Lucky Gates. And we continue with Marvel cover artist editions by various artists. Sorry, and then from Marvel Masterworks we have Vision and the Scarlet Witch Volume One by Steve Englehart, and we have a regular trade edition, and then we have a direct market exclusive cover on the right.
All right, continuing on, Minecraft Out of Order Volume 1, Josh Hicks. Morgana and Oz, this is Volume 2 by Muley. And then, really cool, we have Multiverse Collision Detection, Brian Miller. I see Steven Universe
Yep.
back there. Uh, Bugs Bunny, Venture Time, really
Yeah.
cool
The
collection
DC
of
Cartoon Network
characters.
crossover that
It's
happened last year.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then we have My Adventures with Superman taking the Adult Swim animated and putting it on page. Really cool. It's like an anime style take, which is really nice. Really great for young readers. We have Josie Campbell on that, and My Little Pony Classics Reimagine the Odyssey by a bunch of creators, as you
Bunch
can
of
see here.
creators. And it's funny because yesterday they just announced that there's going to be a movie for The Odyssey with Tom Holland in the acting. So if you want to, read up on The Odyssey before, you have
This
a
is the
great
way.
adaptation from My Little Pony. Okay, and we continue with Mystic You Freshman Year Enchantments by Elisa Whitney. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Neptune by Michael Conrad. And then we have Nyx Volume 1. What Comes Next Will Be Marvelous by Colin Kelly. This is the new run of Nyx. And then Phoenix Volume 1, Orbital Resonance by Stephanie Phillips, and Reversal by Alice de Campi.
All right, we have Punisher, Rick Remender Omnibus, Dan Barrington, the DM. I should have reversed this. This at the DM cover, but then you have the Mike McCone cover as well on this one too. We have Shred or Dead by D. Bradford Gambles and Speak Up Santiago by Julio Anta. And we have Steve L. McEvil and the Twisted Sister Lucas Turnbloom.
And we continue highlighting more of the titles in March with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW Source Book by Patrick Etlers, and also we continue with Ultimate Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 1. We have the J. Lee direct market cover, And we also have the Stuart Immonen cover, and obviously by Brian Michael Bendis. And next to that is Ultimate Spider-Man by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 2, The Paper by, like I said, Jonathan Hickman. And last on this slide is X-Men by Jet McKay, Volume 1, Homecoming.
Alright, continuing on, we have Web of Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. We have the Charles Vest cover. We have two direct market covers, one from Greg LaRocque, and then we have Mike Zeck, the DM cover as well. We have Ultimate Spider-Man in Epic Collection, so which is really cool. So this is Volume 1, Learning Curve by Brian Michael Bendis. And of course, this is Atana, Bring Down the House by Mariko Tamaki. I definitely collected this when it was in single issues. The interior art is fantastic, so I do highly recommend picking that up. If you haven't picked up the single issues, this is great.
Yeah.
So
And those are the highlights. But like I said before, we're gonna leave you. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be able to see every other collection, collector's edition graphic novel that is coming out during the month of March 2025. We appreciate so much you sticking up with us until now on this video. We hope you enjoyed it and it was useful to you. We do these every month, and we also have some weekly ones that we do. So go check them out on our YouTube channel, but also we're on social media, other social media, I should say, on Instagram, X, and Facebook. You can find us under at PRH International Comics, but we'll leave some links in the description for you. That's it. Thank you so much. Bye.